This was war, and the first shot fired, it came from Caitlin Clark. With the sky up early, Clark was fouled on a hard drive to the rim.
Here's Clark working through some contact. Clark diving in, gets the whistle.
She didn't flinch, just stepped to the line, nailed both free throws, and stared down the Chicago bench. No celebration, just cold confidence. This was more than a game. This was personal. But Clark responded like she always does, with a three from way beyond the arc. Splash. Net didn't even move, and the stare she gave after? Ruthless. That shot didn't just tie the game, it flipped the momentum and it set a tone. Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she humiliated Brittney Griner, and the moment she said, "I'm not scared of you," everything changed. This was personal. Just 48 hours earlier, the Indiana Fever were embarrassed on their home floor.
Howard had it blocked at the rim. Howard pulls it down. Howard's shot is short. And Atlanta will escape with a victory.
Out-rebounded, out-muscled, outplayed. Brittney Griner dropped 21.
Howard has the assignments. Griner has the size, ducks in. Oh, pretty finish.
You got to make her make that tough play and not foul her.
Caitlin Clark, she walked off defeated. But on May 22nd, everything flipped. Griner scored just 5 points and fouled out. A rebound bounced high off the rim. Both Clark and Reese went for it. Arms tangled, hands fought. And then, it happened. Clark ripped at the ball with pure aggression. Reese held tight. The two locked eyes. Neither backed down. And the arena exploded. Replay showed it clearly. Reese shoved Clark's teammate before the scrum, and Clark saw it. That's what lit the fire.
That Angel took exception to. So initially, Angel pushes Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark points out the no call. Then she applies a hard foul on Reese. Reese gets up right away to get in the face of Clark.
This wasn't some overreaction. It was retaliation. Clark stood up for her teammate the only way she knows how, with grit, fire, and zero hesitation. Therefore, the refs hit Reese with a flagrant one. The internet divided. Some said Clark flopped. Others praised her intensity, but no one could deny the electricity that moment brought. After a hard foul from Ryan Howard, Clark got up, looked her dead in the eye, and said what the cameras caught loud and clear, "I'm not scared of you." That one sentence flipped the energy. The crowd got louder, the game got more physical, and the Fever, they turned up the heat. Clark didn't need to hit threes. She led with toughness. Her confidence became contagious. Even Natasha Howard, even Lexie Hull, they fed off her fire.
WNBA is exactly what she expected to be. Faster paced, tougher, more physical, more intense.
After a missed shot and a fight for a rebound, Clark and Reese tangled in a way that had the entire arena on its feet. The result? A flagrant foul, a viral highlight.
The on-court ruling of a personal foul on Caitlin Clark has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 1.
And a question that fans are still debating. Did Angel Reese cross the line? And here's the twist. While everyone was focused on the drama, Caitlin Clark quietly made history. She delivered a triple-double, her first ever in the WNBA. 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and points. More than enough. While Reese jawed and flexed, Clark passed, scored, and led her team to an overwhelming 35-point blowout win.
Banham flicks it ahead. Reese goes in.
And with every Clark basket, the gap on the scoreboard widened. But it wasn't just about the points, it was about control. Clark had it, Reese lost it, and by the fourth quarter, the Sky were in free fall. Chicago's defense broke down. Indiana kept feeding Clark, and she kept delivering. A hesitation dribble, step back three.
4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet!
Splash. Crowd goes wild, and with just over a minute to play, Clark launched another bomb from deep.
Here's Clark firing. Hey!
Back-to-back threes that silenced the haters and sealed the win. But that's when Natasha Howard turned into a monster. 26 points, 12 of 17 shooting. She erased her bad game one and took over the second half.
Who would have thought Atlanta? 8 threes already. Got a Brianna Jones who can shoot threes and stretch the floor.
When Clark, Boston, and Mitchell were struggling, Howard stepped in and punished Atlanta. No one expected it. No one was ready for it. This was supposed to be Clark versus Griner, but instead, it was a team that came back from humiliation and made one of the league's biggest stars completely disappear. Caitlin Clark, she walked off defeated, but on May 22nd, everything flipped. Griner scored just 5 points and fouled out. And even though Clark had her worst shooting night in over 3 years, she stood up to Ryan Howard, looked her dead in the eye. "I'm not scared of you." Brittney Griner came into this game ready to dominate. She thought it would be another easy night in the paint, but Indiana had a plan.
Sophie Cunningham smothering defense on Alicia Gray. The double team comes over for BG. She has 5 seconds to work with. In and out. Bree Jones tried to get it up. That's blocked by Howard.
Every time Griner touched the ball, she got swarmed. Double teams, contact, chaos. By the fourth quarter, she was frustrated, out of rhythm, and in foul trouble. The Indiana Fever didn't just get revenge. They sent a warning to the entire WNBA. They beat a playoff team on the road. They shut down Brittney Griner, and they did it all with their superstar having the worst game of her career. That's not luck. That's depth. That's grit. That's a team evolving in real time. Natasha Howard took over. Sophie Cunningham made her presence felt. Lexie Hull dominated off the bench. And Caitlin Clark, even in her lowest moment, showed exactly why she's a leader. The trash talk, the swagger, the fire. This team is no longer rebuilding. They're ready. And if this game proved anything, it's that you can shut down Clark's shot, but you can't shut down her will. Training camp usually starts slow. New teammates need time to click. Roles need to be defined. Coaches need to set the tone. But the Indiana Fever, they walked in like they had already been playing together for years. And right in the middle of it all, Caitlin Clark commanding the court like she's been a pro for a decade. Her passes weren't just clean, they were surgical. She wasn't just making reads, she was controlling the pace. And when the scrimmage hit crunch time, she launched a step-back three that hit nothing but net. It felt like purpose. And that's what separates this Fever team from last year. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a revival. But here's the twist. All eyes were on Caitlin Clark, expecting her to dominate the ball like she did at Iowa. Instead, she did the opposite. She set off ball screens. She moved without the ball. She made quick reads and passed up good shots for better ones. That level of unselfishness, that's rare from a rookie. And it sent a clear message. She's not just here to score, she's here to win. Therefore, the refs hit Reese with a flagrant one. The internet divided. Some said Clark flopped. Others praised her intensity, but no one could deny the electricity that moment brought. And through all of this chaos, Clark kept playing her game. She hit another deep three.
Here's Clark firing and hitting.
She dished out assist after assist. She ran the offense with poise most rookies can only dream of. Meanwhile, Reese was clearly frustrated. Her body language shifted. She missed close-range shots. She argued with refs. One is the golden girl of the WNBA, the face of the Fever, the player ESPN cannot stop talking about. The other, a self-proclaimed queen of the paint, ready to shut Clark down by any means necessary. Yet what we got was something far more intense than anyone expected. From the opening tip, the tension was obvious. The crowd knew it. The broadcasters felt it. Every possession had a little extra push, a little extra shove. Caitlin Clark buried a three from the logo just minutes into the first quarter, and you could almost feel the fuse light. But the biggest explosion, that came later in a moment so wild, so raw, the cameras couldn't look away. Atlanta had no answer. The same bench that was a weakness all season just outscored Atlanta's by 16 points. This wasn't a one-woman show anymore. The Fever proved they were deeper, stronger, and ready to win ugly. Even with Clark shooting bricks, they looked like contenders. And it's all because role players stepped up when the lights were the brightest. This team didn't just bounce back. They transformed. Caitlin Clark was 0 for 5 from 3. She had 5 fouls. Her shot, cold. But her message, red hot.
Damaris Dantas with the rejection against Alicia Gray.
Hit her and said, I dare you to shoot that ball. She's 50% in this game from 3, but she can knock it down.
Back-to-back buckets for Indiana. Now things are starting to groove.
Because sometimes leadership isn't about scoring. It's about refusing to back down. And that's what Caitlin Clark gave them. Belief, swagger, grit. This wasn't just a win. It was the moment the Indiana Fever became dangerous. The Indiana Fever didn't just get revenge. They sent a warning to the entire WNBA. They beat a playoff team on the road. They shut down Brittney Griner, and they did it all with their superstar having the worst game of her career. The arena shifted. You could feel it. This was more than a game. This was personal. But Clark responded like she always does, with a 3 from way beyond the arc. Splash. Net didn't even move, and the stare she gave after? Ruthless. That shot didn't just tie the game, it flipped the momentum and it set a tone. Therefore, this battle became less about team strategies and more about who could outshine the other. Kelsey Mitchell joined the firefight, scoring on tough jumpers.
Here's Mitchell, will fire, and hit from 3.
But everything and everyone seemed to orbit around Clark and Reese.
That does it for the first 10 minutes. The Fever trail the Dream 18-13.
In just 20 minutes, off the bench, 9 points, 6 rebounds. She sparked an 11-0 run, hit her first 3 of the season, and took a charge in the final seconds. Pure energy, pure chaos, pure impact. Then came Lexie Hull. 10 points, 4 assists, career-high performance.
Hull going right at Tahina Pow and gets the bucket, a much-needed bucket for Indiana.
Brings, pass right elbow, Hull, hangs, jumper, good off the backboard.
Therefore, this wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Caitlin Clark didn't just beat Angel Reese, she exposed her. The difference in composure, skill, and leadership was undeniable. And just when it seemed like the rivalry had reached its peak, something else happened. With the final buzzer echoing through the arena, the scoreboard told one story. Indiana Fever 93, Chicago Sky 58. But the real story? That was playing out off the court. Because while Caitlin Clark walked off the floor with a triple-double and the spotlight firmly on her, Angel Reese was left staring into space, frustrated, furious, and maybe, just maybe, outmatched. Every time Clark hit a jumper, Reese muscled her way to the rim. Every time Reese scored in the paint, Clark pulled up from the perimeter and drilled another dagger.
So many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range, is good.
But something snapped in the second half. A rebound bounced high off the rim. Both Clark and Reese went for it. Arms tangled, hands fought, and then it happened. Clark ripped at the ball with pure aggression. Reese held tight. The two locked eyes. Neither backed down, and the arena exploded. And over-communicate they did. Drills paused. Coaches corrected footwork. Assistants demonstrated screen angles. No one was above the standard. Therefore, even the stars were getting pushed. Aaliyah Boston, already a 2-time All-Star, was grinding through defensive rotations. And right behind her, Michaela Timpson, the rookie who stole the show. 6'2" with a 7-foot wingspan. That's already scary. But when she blocked Boston, yes, blocked the Rookie of the Year, the entire gym reacted.
It's game day in the A as the Dream welcome in Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, who are looking for some get back after dropping their previous game back on Tuesday against the Dream. Caitlin Clark has created some history to start the season.
Caitlin Clark just had the worst shooting game of her career and still embarrassed Brittney Griner on her home floor. The trash talk was real. The revenge, brutal, and what happened next will shock you. She went 0 for 5 from deep and still took down one of the most dominant players in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she humiliated Brittney Griner. This wasn't just a game, this was a statement, a battle, a brawl in sneakers. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the moment the entire WNBA had circled in red. And what happened next will shock you, because Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she dominated, she humiliated, and just when the dust seemed to settle, a flagrant foul, a heated standoff, and a stare down at half court sent the entire league into chaos. But let's rewind. This was supposed to be a celebration of women's basketball, a marquee matchup between the league's two most polarizing rookies. Caitlin Clark didn't have to save the Fever this time, because Sophie Cunningham came back and brought the fire.
Handoff, Clark. Skip pass left wing. Cunningham tees it up, and the 3 is good.
She sparked an 11-0 run, hit her first 3 of the season, and took a charge in the final seconds. Pure energy, pure chaos, pure impact. The biggest reason, buy-in. Caitlin Clark could have walked into training camp acting like the savior. She didn't. She became a sponge. She listened to veterans. She made extra passes. She got in the gym early and stayed late. And that culture of humility spread. Brianna Turner, once labeled a risky addition due to a resurfaced tweet, has done the exact opposite of what critics expected. On the first day, she and Caitlin executed a flawless pick and roll that ended in an easy finish. No tension, no ego, just clean basketball. Turner even said it herself. Caitlin hasn't even hit her ceiling yet. I'm excited to watch her grow.
And of course you have Caitlin.
That shot wasn't just a bucket, it was a warning. But what really shocked everyone wasn't just Clark, it was how fast the entire unit came together. Kelsey Mitchell, a scoring machine for years, looked free. With veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard now taking on leadership, Mitchell no longer had to carry the load, and it showed. She was smiling between plays, cutting harder, and attacking like a pure scorer again. That's the thing about structure. When the right leaders are in place, the game opens up. And that structure starts with Coach Stephanie White, who brought a message of accountability from day one. We will make mistakes, she told the team, but if we over-communicate, we'll survive it.
High level of communication. Okay, we're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's to be expected. But if we over-communicate, we'll be able to work through it. So high level of communication. I'm excited, y'all.
With 3:38 left, she fouled out. The arena went silent, but that's when Natasha Howard turned into a monster. 26 points, 12 of 17 shooting. She erased her bad game one and took over the second half.
Seasons ago, but she's come in this season with authority, and she's been looking good at both ends for the Dream. Who would have thought Atlanta? 8 threes already. Got a Brianna Jones who can shoot threes and stretch the floor. I'll call that for Atlanta. Backdoor, more movement from Indiana. Gets another bucket. It's a little bit of a seesaw.
But don't get it twisted. This story isn't over, not even close. Because the next time these two meet, the pressure will be even higher, the spotlight even brighter, and the stakes personal. The league wants this rivalry, the fans demand it, and every player in that locker room knows when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese share the court, it's not just about basketball, it's about who controls the future of the WNBA. So here's the question, did Caitlin Clark just take the crown? Or is Angel Reese about to come back stronger than ever?
Look, I don't expect us to not make mistakes really while we're figuring this out, but what I don't want is to stop.
The moment went viral. Cameras caught Reese refusing to shake hands. Clark, calm and collected, walked back to the bench, barely reacting. Reporters asked about the flagrant foul. Reese brushed it off.
Just what you saw on that play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, ref
Clark didn't take the bait.
You got the flagrant, Aaliyah, you got a technical. What could have happened there?
If you got the tech? I know.
Wait, what?
I got the tech?
Oh,
first of all.
I know.
Let's not make it anything that it's not. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after.